Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you Charge versus Chickendew in round 1 of the 4th Asia Pacific tournament. This is of course the 1 division tournament, and today on the Allied side, on the first Allied side, Charge is using the Guards Armoured and Chickendew has chosen the 15th Infantry Scots. We're going to be seeing Pegasus Bridge, and this is certainly an interesting matchup to say the least. Honestly, I kind of feel like it falls in favour of the 15th Infantry, mainly because of things like Churchills early on. So Churchill AVREs, you have, especially in Phase B, the Churchill 7s. It's going to be very hard for the Guards Armoured to deal with those effectively. Of course, there are things like 17 pounders and Fireflies that the Guards Armoured can use, but they aren't in abundance. So I feel like if Chickendew can get those AVREs and like the Churchills out early, then he could definitely take advantage of that moving through the game. The Charge is going to be on the blue side, we have Chickendew on the red side, so let's have a look at some of the units going down here. So on the top side it's going to be the Humber Mark III, one of the primary units of the Guards Armoured, and a lot of the reason why people play them and why they're relatively strong in Phase A. Going to be coming in with Recon, of course. There's a 6 pounder up there as well. Further down we have a Stuart 6, which are going to be heading into the town with a couple of units of rifles, also an MG and a Cromwell 6. Further down, another Humber, another AT gun. Looks like a standard start on the top and bottom here for Charge, with more emphasis in the centre town. So we'll have to see how that works out for him. On the side of Chickendew, we have some rifles on the top side here. They're going to be supported by an AT gun and command. For the mid, there is going to be an AVRE at the start, and that was something that I was rather worried about for the sake of Charge at least. That AVRE has the potential to do a lot of damage early on, since there's not going to be really anything that Charge can use to penetrate it. He has 6 pounders. I think the highest AP tank he has is the Cromwell 7. So that's definitely going to come into play, very much so. A Piat might take it out, but that's going to be a long shot for sure, especially with the reliability of Piats. So 2 units of rifles here, going to be followed up by the command carrier there with the command infantry. 2 more rifles a little further down heading to the town as well. And we have an AT gun and infantry for the bottom side. Now one thing that is lacking on the side of Charge here is command infantry, or just command in general. There is not a single command unit at the start of the game, and that is very risky, especially not with the centre push. I don't mind it so much for the top and bottom where you don't have a large concentration of forces, but for the mid it could be very dangerous, because that is what leaves you open to mass surrenders that can really just end the game very quickly. And like not having that command there and not keeping command safe is a very easy way to lose in Steel Division. Either way, looks like Charge is going to be very cautious with his armour back here. Let his rifles go in first. It's a smart move. You don't want your Stuart 6 or your Cromwell, for example, to just go headlong into an AT gun. You want to make sure that your rifles kind of spot what's coming, or see what's coming in the mid at least. Rifles or recon on the top and bottom should be able to show him what kind of threats are there. But it looks like, due to the way that the map has played out here and the fact that Charge actually unloaded his rifles relatively early, he hasn't really got too much information or too much ground for that matter. 54% territory lead for Chickendew already, which is quite significant. It looks like the AVRE may have already popped an infantry squad here. I have no idea what happened to that. There was definitely 2 here. Looks like one's just disappeared. It's like magic. Oh, never mind. It was that well confused me. It was still there. It just it was just underneath the other unit icon. It was so perfectly placed that I didn't realise. That's incredible. Either way, the AVRE is now coming, And I'm sure that's going to make these rifles have a disappearing act. Yeah, there we go. They are gone. Unfortunate for them. One man may get out alive. But that isn't going to bode well for the second rifle squad, that's for sure. There really isn't much that Charge can do about this aviary. The last guy falls flat on his face and poor chap is just straight up dead. So what does Charge need here? He needs either AT at close range, so like something like this 6-pounder that could maybe side shot or just get penetration at close range. The other thing is something just like a Piat, like a command infantry would be perfect just for the center here. Not only because it would provide command, but also because a Piat is a threat that can take out an aviary. So you kind of get two birds with one stone there. But either way, rifles are going to be falling back. Cromwell 6 is opening up with the Stuart 6 here. But the aviary is going to have something to say about that, especially when it comes to this Vickers HMG. Wow. That aviary was well off target. It's a 2-star aviary, it shouldn't miss very often. But in this case, it most certainly did. It does only have 4 accuracy, so that might explain why it was so far off. So that Vickers HMG definitely going to be holding fire for the time being, as you can see, put onto return fire almost immediately. However, aviary here, that's on fire position, decided to destroy the building anyway. Stuart 6 moved up. Got pinned down a little though, not particularly keen on that engagement. AT gun coming to the mid from Chickendew is a smart move. He knows that armour at close range is probably what can really risk the aviary dying. So getting that 6-pounder into position and then threatening things like this Cromwell 4 and the Stuart 6 here is a really nice idea to allow the aviary a little more freedom. But I did say that Charge didn't have anything really to kill the aviary, but that's just at range. At close range, a lot of things can kill 15 armor. Not only because there is 15 armor and they get an AP increase for every 100 meters you get closer to the target, but also because when you're closer, it's more likely you're going to force a side shot at some point. Now, another thing that could be done to deal with this aviary is maybe something like an airstrike. I'm not sure if there's any Spitfire bombers on the side of the Guards armoured early, but that could be a choice, maybe assisted by the tanks on the ground. The other choice, of course, like I said already, is the Piats. Now, the 6-pounder has arrived, and that has found line of sight onto this Cromwell 4. This is a good move, regardless of whether or not the 6-pounder gets the kill, because it's going to stop Charge from using these tanks offensively, knowing that there is AT in his way. The only way he's going to be able to deal with that AT now is either by bringing in AT, or not AT, like artillery, or by attacking it with infantry. And considering the amount of infantry Chickendew has here, supported by both the command carrier and the aviary, that second choice is not one that is really going to work out very well. So you'll see as soon as these rifles show themselves, they come under fire from a lot of units. Chickendew makes use of the command carrier. Things get very difficult. I'm not sure why this aviary has been brought so far back. I still think it would be useful for taking on these infantry. Imagine if the aviary was here, for example, and was firing its Spigot mortar into those two half tracks where both of the motorized rifles had just unloaded. It probably would have killed both of them in one shot. But these Piats, definitely a nice choice, but where is the command? Like, you have the Cromwell 4 here, but it's not really a large radius, which is why you tend to rely more on command infantry. A couple units down here haven't been unloaded. Looks like Charge is definitely concentrating in the centre of this map at the moment. But here we see the aviary finally coming back into play. A Honey Stuart on the side of Chickendew has arrived, and it seems like we have a bit of a standoff, but things constantly falling in favour of Chickendew because of that +1. Just gaining that little bit of ground earlier on has really helped him out. Not having like an infantry squad down here for Charge, and maybe not pushing in this area, probably in my opinion was kind of a mistake, because going into this matchup, I would very much expect an aviary. And there's only so much you can do to play around that early on. Motorised rifles are a good choice. But bringing in a Stuart and a Cromwell 6 to the mid, not as convinced. 6-pounder there. Going to be hit pretty hard by the Cromwell 6. Motorised rifles have been pretty hard trying to advance. Aren't going to be catching out this AVRE anytime soon. Chickendew's got it really well covered by like this line of 4 infantry. Oh, that's one half track down. That HE is absolutely nasty. Honey does manage to finish off the Jeep, and this 6-pounder's got line of sight onto the Cromwell 6. Or if that 6-pounder kills the Cromwell 6, that would be absolutely awesome for Chickendew, but absolutely devastating for Charge. As he can't really afford to lose anything at this point. He needs to build up and think about making a push somewhere eventually. Forcing back these Recce on the bottom side will leave Charge a little bit of breathing room, especially when it comes to the 6-pounder here. That recon was allowed to stay forwards, then that 6-pounder would probably be revealed. And then Chickendew can come in and play around that, which is not what you want. Like in general, you never want your AT guns to be spotted until you think they're going to get a kill. Because otherwise they're just fodder for artillery and many other things. Airstrikes, 1200 meter range, tanks, all that kind of stuff. And therefore, like, keeping the 6-pounder out of line of sight is ideal. So keeping recon away, also a good idea. 6-pounder ideally should be like just behind the tree line here though. That would be better, so that recon can't spot it in the first place. But I think that's a mistake a lot of players make, and can't really call out Charge for doing it. These rifles are definitely winning the battle there against those rifles, but when they come under the fire of that honey, it's not going to last very long. Cromwell 6 was definitely helping them out. Now the AVRE is getting involved. It's fire positioning behind the building here. Looks like that's where Chickendew expected them to fall back. See what he can see right now.
Enemy spotted.
So he can see them falling back in that direction, which is most likely why the AVRE stopped firing. Can see the 6-pounder here. Can't see the 6-pounder on the bottom side at the moment, but can see the Humber Mark III. But if I was in Chickendew's shoes, I would feel pretty confident as well. Maybe not so comfortable now that the honey has been engine destroyed though. That is quite simply waiting to die in the face of this 6-pounder, and there is nothing he can do about it. There's little mistakes like this that may allow Charge to get enough units built up that he can push forwards. And that seems to be what he's doing. Got a couple of Stuarts, he's got this Cromwell 4, and supported with a few infantry, he might be able to push onto this AVRE and take it out. Because one thing that you can assume going into this matchup is that the 15th Infantry will lack infantry AT. They have a lot of rifles, but they don't have things like motorised rifles. So the only infantry you'd have to be worried about that had AT, at least in Phase A, is the rifle leader. And therefore you can play around that quite significantly. But all the while, more reinforcements just entrenching Chickendew's position at the moment. And Charge not really doing anything about it. He is going to be fast moving his Stuarts back, maybe going to be making a play on the bottom side, bringing in the Firefly 5C on this bottom side. So yeah, I quite like this idea. It's a good choice, especially considering it allows him to play around the AVRE quite nicely. The AVRE works very well at close range, or at least within 600 meter range where it can actually fire. Beyond that, it can definitely be exploited. So that's what I hope Charge is looking to do down here with his Firefly, and also maybe his Stuarts on the way. Now for the top side, this is a 17-pounder. It's a 2-star 17-pounder. That could get very ugly, especially for this Cromwell 6 here, if it wants to try and poke the top side of this town. 25-pounder is going to be opening up onto the 6-pounder. Charge is just going to want to get that out of there, and certainly does almost straight away. MMG carriers are causing the rifles here a little bit of an issue, but as soon as Harris gets up, he should be able to find the shots. There you go, one down. Chickendew's on the case. Does have his 17-pounder arriving. And that is another 2-star 17-pounder. Might not want to unload it too close to the Crusader AAs. But the Crusader AA is not in line of sight. Oh, this could be devastating. A 17-pounder only has to hit one more shot and the Firefly goes down. Surely he's going to find it. There's nothing firing back. The Crusader AA could be pinning that 17-pounder, but not going to happen. Charge loses his biggest asset on this bottom side. So a huge swing. Charge is just going to be left wondering what to do now. I think he was quite heavily relying on that Firefly, but now he's got to rely on this Cromwell 6. Probably wondering why he didn't have it there to begin with, but ouch, that's got to hurt. 17-pounder comes in with the shot straight into the Cromwell 6. Second shot finishes the job. And that's what happens when you don't use the fire position trick. Obviously, Chickendew is attack moving this forwards, which does make the movement of the AT unpredictable, especially when I think the recon is probably not spotting it. Actually, it is. So surprising there that Charge allowed himself to be caught out. But oh, once again, another shot coming in from the 17-pounder, going to hit that Humber Mark III real hard. Sexton has been brought in to try and RT that. Nice choice. But might have been nicer before the Firefly and the Cromwell 6 went down. Huge swing in the power of the units in this game between the two players. So now it's just a matter of waiting until Charge has the resources once again to make another push. But he's got to identify where these tanks are. And it's not going to, or not tanks, anti-tank guns, sorry. And it's not going to get any easier with this Churchill 7 rolling down the road. And there's 15 armor that every unit on the map right now, except this Firefly, can penetrate. So, honestly, maybe Charge should be investing in an AT gun. But even then, his AT guns are already being pressured by this 25-pounder, so that wouldn't be something that you would want to do if you were, playing the game. So the Fireflies are what Charge is going to have to rely on. And honestly, at this rate, it's going to look like a Phase C push is going to be the main thing to make the difference. He's just got to keep it cool, keep it at a +1, and just wait till Phase C to make that big push back against the 15th Infantry here. So let's see if this Sexton can get the job done onto the 17-pounder. Currently it's very inaccurate. A dingo or some form of command would be ideal right now, just to improve the accuracy. Because Sexton without any veterancy is extremely hard to get significant kills with. And that's what we can see happening right here. 17-pounder just barely being pinned down. And yeah, that may catch out Charge. However, Cromwell 6 has managed to pin it down. Has got the 17-pounder in its sights. Churchill 7 though could definitely think about cleaning up these Stuart 6s if Charge isn't too careful. The 555C really needs to start pinning that down, otherwise things are going to get difficult. Like if I was Charge right now, I'd probably try and get this Firefly close enough so that he could find a significant penetrating shot onto the Churchill 7. Investment in this Tempest is rather odd for me. Maybe he's going to try and use it to strafe the 17-pounder and kill that off more significantly, but with the Cromwell 6 already on the case, That shouldn't be needed anytime soon. Yeah, the Firefly coming up like this is a great idea. He definitely needs to try and find line of sight onto that unit. Stop his HE from firing. Best way to avoid this is just turn off the HE on the main gun, turn off the machine gun, just allow the AP to be ready, and then go for the Churchill 7. Because there aren't going to be many units at this range that are going to get in his way, aside from the 17 pounders. And he's already got one of them pinned down. He doesn't know about the second yet. So this would be a play that I try and make. 25 pounder does find the kill onto the Dingo. That is an extremely significant kill, because taking the veterancy away from this Firefly 5C is definitely going to make things very difficult. The Humber also went down, although that's not so significant. Crocodile is now moving into the town. That's going to be able to join up with the AVRE to make a real push there. 17 pounder though has recovered, takes out the Stuart 6. Crew or driver wounded onto the Churchill 7. Firefly is in a good position. Can it find the second shot? It can. So Churchill 7 has gone down. Now is Charge's chance to push on through. He is going to be ambushed by the Piat. He does not know it's there. Will that kill his motorized rifles? I don't think so. No, the motorized rifles do get unloaded in time. The Piat has been revealed. The jig is up. Now it's just up to the 17 pounder, but that 17 pounder has also been revealed. So the Charge is going to be trying to use the Sexton to hit the 17 pounder, but the 25 pounder from Chickendew is going to stop that from happening. This Sexton must be very inaccurate right now, especially considering it's panicked and has the potential to be pinned down by the 25 pounder. 1.5 tracks goes down here. Motorized rifles, they're going to be looking to try and take out the MMG carrier in response. Firefly is moving up, does have to be very careful not to be in line of sight of the 17 pounder right now. Cromwell 6, oh, it's going to take a shooter wounded. That needs to get the hell out of the way, or it's going down, and it most certainly will. With the Cromwell 7 gone, it's going to be very hard to keep that 17 pounder pinned, especially with another one on the way. Where's this Sexton going? It's coming up, it's fast moving. Where will that be used? We'll have to wait and see, but in the meantime, in the mid, AVRE starting to make a dent with this Crocodile, that's for sure. Motorized rifles have been flamed out. No Piat's going to hit today. Rifles going to be continuing to charge forwards. This Crocodile is going to make it very difficult for this Cromwell 4 to get involved, and all the while, infantry is just going to continue to advance on the side of Chickendew. It looks like with this sort of push on the bottom side faltering, Chickendew's just taking full advantage in the mid. He has the resources to make it work. He's had this AVRE here the whole game. So now this is the chance for him to really solidify his lead. This, like I said, this Cromwell 4 really can't do anything against the 15 front armor there, not without risking dying itself. Does manage to damage some of the rifles, but it's only a matter of time until this rifle leader forces this Cromwell 4 out of cover. And Chickendew's going to be looking to make that happen. 25 pounders both still hitting this bottom side, trying to get rid of these motorized rifles. Sexton did manage to force back one of the 17 pounders, but I think Charge can still see that there is a second one there. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and make ground down here. Firefly to the mid is definitely necessary. He needs something that can take out these Crocodiles and the AVRE at close range. So that is a very important pickup there for Charge. He just needs to make sure it's well supported. Maybe more motorized rifles, maybe a command would be very nice. I'm not entirely sure why he's bringing in these flamer troops with the Stuart Remies. Not quite what he's after at the moment, especially considering the Spigard and the main gun of the Crocodile can take those vehicles out. 17 pounder is going to be engaged directly by the Firefly. Oh, the Firefly is just about to get out there, but the Stuart went down. Now's the chance for the Firefly to finish the job. Just needs to get some shots on target. Probably 5 shots on target, honestly, but with the 17 pounder falling back, is actually going to be behind this house, and that makes things very difficult indeed. Spitfire Mark 9 comes in for the strafing run. Another Spitfire Mark 9 with the bombs comes in. That is going to go down, but it is going to force back the Sexton and definitely delay Charge's progress on this bottom side. So the Spitfire Mark 9 being forced back by the Crusader AA. That Tempest is going to pick up 2 kills by the looks of things. 2 Spitfire Mark 9s going down. So nice clean up in the air by Charge, but losing his Sexton support for the time being is going to make things very difficult. And we do see that the Firefly has gone down in the mid here to the Crocodile. I did not see that occur, but looks like the Crocodile picked up that kill. 2 stars managed to find the penetration at that range, and that is the worrying thing with this matchup. Yeah, like all very well having 16 AP, but you do only have 11 armor, so the closer you get to these Crocodiles and to the Churchill 5s, or 7s, the easier it is for those Churchills to find the kills. Now Tempest is going to come in with the rockets there. Doesn't even find the pin onto the AVRE though, and that's just how difficult it is to really get rid of these units. The AVREs and these Crocodiles with 15 front armor do take a lot of firepower to pin down. One thing I will say, this Charge has done very well to hold on to this 54% territory, or like the 46% that he did have. And sort of leave Chickendew at the 54, because honestly it should be a lot worse right now. Thing is, Chickendew obviously taking it easy in the mid. He doesn't have to be super aggressive. He's definitely in the driver's seat, and he pretty much knows it at this point. Like a 17 pounder, yeah, it's under pressure over here, but he's still got the 6 pounder to cover his ass if he needs to. Like 2 of the 17 pounders have gone down, but like the amount of time it's taking Charge to take out the 17 pounder is just winning him the game straight up. So Assault Pioneers were in the Stuart Remies. I didn't think that the Guards Armoured had Flame Troops. It just confused me by their icon. But yeah, Assault Pioneers, it's going to be not going to really be able to get into the position to do the damage to the rifles on the side of Chickendew, honestly. Especially with these tanks in the way. Like the AVRE and the Crocodile can literally take the brunt of these HE grenades, and then just the rifles have to move forwards after them, which is a bit unorthodox, but considering the armor that Charge can put up right now, especially with this Firefly going down in the mid, that's definitely something that Chickendew could take advantage of at this point. He knows he's killed, I think, 2 Fireflies so far, so yeah, he can definitely try and push more aggressively knowing that that's the case. Firefly 5C on the bottom side. It looks like it will finish off the second 17 pounder. And now it's just a matter of using this time to make a serious push. And with the assistance of the Sherman 5, he may be able to make a lot of ground. But what I'd like to see is some infantry. He needs something that will reveal the rifles, the rifle leader, for example, and therefore allow him to gain full control over this ground. Now we can see that there is an Achilles on the way to the town. The trouble is with an Achilles, it does suffer from similar problems like the M10, and that is just like low aim time. So the Crocodile may be able to just kill that straight up before the Achilles even fires. Also, the trouble with the Achilles is it's open top, and it only has 8 armor, so the AVRE can also have a chance to kill it, and the Crocodile, the closer it gets, will have a chance as well. So honestly, Charge kind of playing with fire here in the mid. Really got to see that Achilles pay itself off, else it's going to be a pretty bad investment. Oh my, this is going to be nasty. If the AVRE gets into line of sight of this infantry that's being pinned down in these 2 half tracks, that's going to be a lot of dead infantry. Wow, this push just being completely blunted here by Chickendew. Really dominating performance. The Sherman 5 is moving up. However, the Crusader AA was killed off. The 25 pounder. Did that get the kill onto the Crusader AA? Fascinating. Not often you see those actually do the job, but either way, infantry is still falling back here. Cromwell 4 is getting into line of sight. Is going to kill off the Honey Stuart. Now it's just up to the Achilles to take on the crocodile. If Chickendew allows that to happen, he's got to hope that he finds the kill before Charge does, because this is an ideal range for this engagement for the Achilles. Slowly being pinned down though. Oh, these assault pioneers finding plenty of surrenders. Really, really nice rocket strike there actually from that Tempest. But the crocodile shrugging off shots is actually going to find the transmission damage. Wow. Achilles is falling back, not in a good place. Cromwell 4 also not in a good place either. Really just is not going to do anything to the crocodile at that range. Like that is, what, 13 or 12 AP versus 15 front armor? Nothing's going to happen. This Achilles, at that range, he's using 17 AP versus 15 armor. Can fire without being fired back upon, which is a good thing. But whether or not he's going to find the kill remains to be seen. Sexton does help force that crocodile back on this bottom side though. 6-pounder is going to be hitting this Firefly very hard. Tempest does come in to strafe that 6-pounder. But like I said before, even with the 17-pounders gone, Chickendew still has the 6-pounders to cover his ass. That's exactly what's happening right here. It's stopping Charge from being aggressive on this bottom side. Now that sweep play from the Tempest did kind of curb a lot of Chickendew's aggression in the centre here, because he's lost the majority of his infantry support. But that doesn't mean the tanks won't do a lot of damage. And here you can see that they are really still chewing on these infantry squads very easily. And honestly, with like 10 minutes left on this game, or just under 11 minutes left, Charge has got to do a lot of work if he wants to see victory. Like, he would have to find himself a +2, even a +3 at this point. And, you know, the game has really fallen away from him. I think Chickendew just reacted very well to everything that Charge was doing. From the start had the initiative due to the high armor. And honestly, it's just a very hard matchup for the Guards Armored. I think Charge, you know, made the right decision after initially pushing towards the town to move to the bottom side with his Firefly and make something happen down there. But it just didn't, unfortunately. And yeah, that's just how it ended up. Now it looks like an infantry squad there actually got killed before it unloaded, which is not ideal, but the assault pioneers did manage to clean up some of the command infantry, so good kill. Firefly 5C going to be trying to take on this Churchill 7. Not sure that's quite going to happen though. It looks like Charge is really starting to force back this AVRE. The crocodile's kind of behind the tree line here. Ideally would be a lot closer at the moment, because it could definitely try and take pot shots at these tanks to slow down the aggression. But I like the Charge is being very aggressive with his movement here. Not trying to take things slow, especially when he is so far behind. Firefly does find a kill onto the Churchill 7. Really, really good kill there. This 6-pounder though still in a very nice position, just waiting to get the ambush onto one of these tanks. Regardless of which it kills, it will slow down the push very significantly. This one in the mid, this 6-pounder, has been found and is falling back, but +1 still in favour of Chickendew. A lot of that will be due to these rifles and them falling to the push from Charge. Will definitely hurt, but here comes the crocodile. Can that get the job done? At this range, honestly, if you see how long these Achilles take to aim, it's absolutely incredible. At this range, the Achilles should just one-shot this. Wow, yeah, job done. Crocodile goes down. AVRE has also been internal fragmented, so that's not going to really come in handy. Chickendew really needs to actually stop this push coming through in the mid, because otherwise it could get ugly. There is a 17-pounder here. Oh, that's going to be killing the Firefly. That is devastating on that bottom side. All of that progress he made just undone by one single shot there from that 17-pounder. Oh, that is just nasty. And now there is nothing this Sherman 5 can do about that. Sexton's run out of ammunition. Charge needs to get that resupplied ASAP. But time is just falling away from Charge right now. It's really getting to the point where even if he does manage to secure the town back in his favor, he's still got work to do. And that is just devastating because he's really come back strong here. I didn't think these Achilles would do so well, but definitely proving me wrong. Taking out those crocodiles there and so on. Like at long range, like fair enough, you know, 1,200 meter range is something you can really take advantage of since the crocodiles and Churchills don't have the same range. But at closer ranges, you saw how this Achilles that got transmission damage really got pinned down very fast. But fortunately there with the 2v1, job was done nice and easy. Churchill 6 coming in on this bottom side. That's going to prove an interesting engagement between the Sherman 5 and itself. Both are just going to be bouncing off each other, that's for sure. We do see rifles now, though, coming into the mid just to back things up. A Piat has arrived here. Another one is on its way. And it looks like that's what Chickendew is just going to try and use to prevent the push from these vehicles in the mid here. But as long as he just delays at this point, there is quite simply nothing that Charge can do. Now 6-pounder here has been found. There is a Churchill 5 and a Churchill 6 engaging that 6-pounder, but Churchill 5 will pin it down. And that's going to allow this push to be very strong indeed. Typhoon AT coming in though. Can that do the job? Might find the side shots there. Nope. Kills the command carrier. Or the universal carrier there, but not the tank. And the tank is what matters. Now the push is coming through pretty strong here, but this Piat is looking ready to fire. Only needs to get within the 200 meter range. Will he find a kill? Will a Piat find a kill? A lot of people would say no, but we'll have to wait and see. 6-pounder did try and take a shot there at close range at the Cromwell 4. Only finds the driver wound though. 17-pounder, however, somehow has a shot all the way into the town there. Look at that placement. Wow. Forces back the crocodile. Gets the driver wounded there for a little while. Can it find the last shot? No, it cannot. The crocodile gets out of line of sight. That was very, very nice there from Chickendew finding that line of sight. Intentional or not. That is pretty incredible. Now, weapon jam onto this Churchill 6 is going to leave it vulnerable to the Sherman 5 here. There is, of course, another Firefly on the way. But with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock and Chickendew still pushing a +1, we're seeing it's 2,000 points on the board. Now, towards the end here, I really commend Charge for pushing very hard, but it looks like he is going to surrender, realises there's not enough time left. 35 minutes and 16 seconds. Chickendew is going to win his way to the second round. Commiserations to Charge is going to be dropping down to the lower bracket. Now, in my opinion, this was a very difficult matchup from Phase A. The early game was definitely not in the Guards Armored's favour. But later on, you know, those Fireflies can definitely make the plays because they have 1,200 meter range, right? And if they are engaging a crocodile at 1,000 meter range, they get, you know, 18 AP, which is more than enough to penetrate that armor. So that's really something that I think Charge was trying to exploit in the mid game, but it really didn't pay off when the 17-pounders came out, very well timed on the side of Chickendew. You can actually see that the kills were in favour of Charge towards the end there because of the amount of damage he did, both on the bottom side and in the mid. But Chickendew just did a great job of just delaying the choice of those Piats there, rather than like direct AT or tanks was a nice choice after he lost his crocodiles and AVREs. And it just delayed things so damn much. Really nice AT placement. Yeah, very, very nice stuff. So down here we can see that the Firefly took out the Churchill 7. 2 Churchill 7s in the end. Took out a 17-pounder as well. That is a lot of kills for a Firefly 5C. The rest of the stuff didn't really do too well. But yeah, look how spaced out these kills are. So in the early game, the only kills he got was from these 6-pounders. And then he got Willie's MMG kill. And then the next kill that came in was that Firefly that then got killed and completely wrecked his phase B push. Like that was his phase A. And then look how hard he came back in phase C with all of these other kills. Very, very nice attempt there by Charge to bring things back, but just a little bit too late. And Chickendew did all he could to stop it from happening. In terms of losses, early game went completely in favour of Chickendew. I have not seen the kills and losses tab really reflect the game so well in a very, very long time. Look how many kills that AVRE got. It just completely blew apart the town and made it impossible for Charge to push early, in that town at least. When he tried to push on the bottom side, you can see the 17-pounder came in and cleaned it up. 25-pounders were actually doing a really nice job of sort of forcing back quite a few units, hitting 6-pounders, making it unlikely that Charge would bring in a 17-pounder because he was already being hit on his 6-pounders by 25-pounder like artillery. Also, you can see the 25-pounder did get the kill onto the Crusader AA Mark II, which was probably a direct hit with an AP shell. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. Crocodile in the mid, though, definitely did well to kill off this Firefly. But then after that, it was kind of downhill in terms of losses. You can see not many really appearing after that. So yeah, there you have it. Very interesting game between two allied divisions. I really am liking seeing these sort of Axis versus Axis and allied versus allied matchups, but honestly they are a lot less balanced than is normal. So you can see, you know, these sort of stark contrasts between different phases. But yeah, Chickendew really did well to take advantage of that in this game, and regardless of his losses, still won the day. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.